Hey everyone, it's Anne Manera, and welcome to Monday's live color along. I am coloring with Chalk Pastels this morning, and if you've never attended a live color along with me, I know that there's some people here that have not. Strictly live. I mean, hey, it's in my home studio. I've got my dogs in the background. Anything could happen. The phone could ring. The dogs could bark. The doorbell could ring. The dog could climb on the desk. I don't know what's going to happen. Anyway, I'm glad that you're all here. So we are coloring this morning from Color Along Volume 11. We're using Chalk Pastels this morning, and we're coloring a grayscale illustration page. I want to make sure that my lighting is okay because I feel like there's kind of a glare in this room. I don't know what is happening. Let's find the page while everyone gives it a minute to get here. Let's find the page that we are coloring today. It's a grayscale illustration page, and we're using Chalk Pastels. I'm using Stabilo Chalk Pastels this morning. Scarlett seems to not like that I'm using those, apparently, in the background. And I am using some stiff pastels, and we're going to talk about the difference this morning. We're going to talk about the difference between chalk pastel colored pencils and regular chalk pastels. We're also going to talk about today, different paper that we use pastels on. And for those of you that have the Color Along Volume 11 book, you are part of the Color Along Volume 11 private group, and usually you get a PDF packet for some of the Color Alongs. We do not have a PDF packet for today. So the next PDF packet is on the group right now, and it is for Wednesday, which is fresco style coloring. I'm so excited about that one. That one's going to be a lot of fun. Mine doesn't look like this. Chris, are you talking about the page? So before we get started, let's say good morning to everyone. See if I can catch up with the comments. The comments are active today. You guys are a hopped up bunch today. Hey, good morning, Abby and Bonnie. Good morning, Judy. Hey, Chris. Hey, Beth. Good morning, Sarah. Lisa's here with us this morning. Good morning, Lisa. Who else is here with us this morning? Judy. I already said hello to Judy, but good morning twice. Good morning, Lynn Miller. Hey, Alice. Alice says we're getting snow tomorrow, and I have an outpatient surgery scheduled 1 hour and 30 minutes from my house. Oh no, we're getting snow here tomorrow too, but I can't really get the correct forecast. You know, there's a Facebook page that I follow. I don't know why I follow it, because he's not even a weatherman. He's just some guy who just decided to combine a bunch of different forecasts on his own Facebook page. Just created it. I don't know why I'm listening to him, but one of these days I'm gonna pay the price for listening to him. Hey Jamie, hey Bonnie. Who else is here with us this morning? Alexandria's here this morning. Diana, hey Diana. Hey Jeannie Davison's here with us this morning. Good morning, Donna Strobel. Who else? Hey, I'm running behind today. I don't know what's wrong. Mary Hannah, good morning, Mary. Good morning, Bonnie Hughes. Okay, I think I've said everything. Said good morning to everyone. Hey, Holly. Hey, Michelle, Michael. If I have missed you and I did not say good morning, well, good morning and happy Monday. All right, so let's get down to business, right? Get down to the reason why we're here this morning for this color along meeting. We're here for Chalk Pastels this morning. So we're coloring with Chalk Pastels today, a very easy way to color a grayscale coloring page, or this is a grayscale illustration coloring page. But what I want to talk about these Chalk Pastels is paper quality, paper choice. Page 12 for today's page. What does that mean, Judy? Hey, CC White. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Thank you for joining us this morning. So if you've joined us for the very first time this morning, for this live color along. This is strictly live. We just color. This is part of a color along group. If anyone is interested in coloring the page that I'm coloring today, it is part of this book called the Color Along Variety Coloring Book. We are on volume 11. I've done 11 volumes of these. And if you look up in the pinned comment in the description of this post, actually, there's a link now. From now on, you can actually purchase single pages from this book as I'm coloring. So they'll post it on my website. So if anyone is interested and they do not have the book and they are dying to color with us, then you just need to go over to that description in the top of this video, and you can get a link to that page. Is this the one? Is everyone with me here with this page? This is the page, okay? So let's talk about paper quality before we do anything else. So I'm coloring in the Color Along book, which is a KDP book, Create Space KDP, Amazon published book. And the paper quality is, believe it or not, 60 pound in this book. So a lot of people think that the paper quality in these coloring books from self-published authors and indie authors, I'm going to adjust my camera for a minute, is too light. It's too thin. And I'm going to tell you, this is where the disconnect is that paper that you purchase to print something on using your own home printer is going to be thicker than what you'll find in a book that is printed in a big print house, like when a book is published. And you would think that it would be the same thing, but it's really not. So if you were to buy 100-pound paper, it would be, well, say you were going to buy 60-pound paper. And here's the example too, is that I have, like, I can really show you thickness on camera, but I mean, this paper inside this book is 60 pound. That's in the printing world. This piece of paper that I have right here is 20 pound. This is paper that I buy for my printer. The paper that's in the book feels like it's almost as thin as that 20-pound paper. And it probably does feel like that because that's where the difference is. So the other part of the paper quality, of the difference in paper too, is the tooth. And paper tooth is all about the smoothness or the roughness of the paper. So you could just simply feel it with your hands. I mean, it's not really something you can really see. If it's got the more tooth to a paper, then the grainier or grittier it would be, and it would have more pits to it. And the less tooth it would be, then the smoother it would be. So I think that we can safely say that a page that is inside this coloring book has 0 tooth. No tooth at all. So let's think about it that way. This has 0 tooth. Take out another piece of paper, like a piece of cardstock. I mean, I wish we had like feel-o-vision, right? Or smell-o-vision, where we could feel it or smell it. I mean, maybe we don't want to smell it, but maybe we could feel it. This is very smooth. The smoother the paper is, then the less what you're coloring with, in this case, chalk pastels, will grab onto the paper. Does that make sense to everyone? So I was watching a cooking show the other day, because I watch a cooking show almost every single night. I don't really know why, but I do. And I was watching this cooking show, and they were talking about boiling spaghetti. And they were talking about when you boil spaghetti, you should not put oil in the water. I do all the time, because if not, the spaghetti sticks, or any type of pasta. And what she was saying was that if you put oil in the water, it will add oil to the pasta. And when you put any type of sauce on it, it would slide off. So you want it to be sticky. So think of it like that. You could think of it in the terms of that, where you want it to be like the more tooth the paper has, then the stickier the paper will be. So we're going to take a look at a few different types of paper. One of the things that I have in front of me is cardstock. So let's take a look at that. I buy this 100-pound cardstock. It has a little bit of a tooth to it. The other thing that you can do is think out of the box and color on something else. For example, this is just a manila file folder. It's a thicker thing. If you feel it, it could actually have a little bit more tooth. Lynn Miller is saying, I buy PDF books and print them on cardstock. It makes me happier. You got to do what makes you happy, right, Lynn? Life's too short to color on the wrong paper, wear uncomfortable clothes, eat food you don't like, and just generally watch crap on TV, right? So you want to make sure that you just do what makes you happy. You don't like what you're watching on TV? Turn the channel. Don't suffer through, right? I was watching something on Netflix last night that scared the bejesus out of me, and I said, nope, done with that. I am not watching that show anymore. Let's see if we can demonstrate this example. So this is just regular paper. I should put that down, right? Paisley, what do you think? Paisley is agreeing with me. She's saying, this paper is the bomb. Let's get a marker. Give Paisley something she needs. What's that, Paisley? Oh, here you go. Go ahead, babe. Take it. Paper versus sandpaper. Good one. That's a good one, Chris. So this paper right here is 20 pound. This is just printer paper. I'm going to call it printer paper. It has no tooth. No tooth at all. Okay? And then this paper here is cardstock. We don't know what she wants. Do we know what Paisley wants? And this was, if I was going to grade this, I would say that if it was on a scale of 1 to 10, maybe this is like a 2. A number 2. We're going to call it that. I don't know if they really have that grading. When you buy the paper, where does the weight of the paper on the package, where's it located? I don't know, to be honest with you. In the corner? I'm not really sure. Abby's saying higher the number, the thicker the paper. Yes. So the higher the pounds. So if something is 100 pound, so 50 pound versus, so 50, so it's like a scale like this. So we've got 20 pound here. This is just your regular copy paper. And then we've got 100 or, I mean, 100, could be 110. Could be 110 too. And, I mean, you've got 60 pound, you've got 70 pound. So this is a thin, this is thin, and this is thick. So that's exactly what Abby is talking about. The higher the number, the thicker the paper is. The lower the number, the thinner the paper. Lynn is saying that my cardstock is only 65 pound. And you know what? That's okay. It doesn't have to be that high. Judy's saying I buy Nina cardstock. I buy Nina cardstock too. I love that one. The other part about cardstock or any type of paper is the brightness. Abby's is 80. So, but not all cardstock is going to have that really nice tooth. All cardstock is really going to have kind of that number 2 area tooth. It's not going to really be that that thick. I like Nina for the value too, Chris. It's a really good value. It's priced well. I actually have a link to that on my website. You can purchase it directly on my website. So let's see what will happen on this cardstock paper. What happens here? Now, a couple of different things. This is a colored pencil, chalk pastel colored pencils. Hello, right? And Walmart has really good prices on paper, Sarah. I agree with you. So this is just kind of a medium pressure. And I'm not going to do anything to that. Or you can just kind of do a little bit of a lighter pressure. And see how it's just picking up that, you know, texture. Not texture, but texture. Alexandria will be happy when I said that. Markers and copy paper mix well, but not cardstock. No, cardstock, it'll tend to bleed. I agree with you, Chris. It'll bleed through. Just doesn't have a good, just isn't good. Right, Scarlett? You've got to get Scarlett something. What is wrong, Scarlett? What is wrong, girl? Oh, that girl's always taking your stuff, huh? So, a little bit of a tooth. And then when you take a look at this one with this 20 pound printer paper, I mean, there's like nothing. There's no tooth. It's extremely, extremely smooth. Now, I'm going to take this away for a minute. And this paper here that's on this desk, which I did kind of an example here, is that I have covering this. This is a, did you ever go to like a hardware store or even like Home Depot, all those or something, and you can buy paper to cover a floor with. I buy this on a very, very big roll because I like it to use to cover paper or cover a table. Hey, Diana, cover a table when I'm painting, for example. And to just kind of keep it here, and I end up drawing on it, this paint in the corner. But this paper is kind of like that craft paper. Now look at the tooth. Look what's happening there. I mean, nothing fancy. I'm just kind of using this. There's the tooth because it has all of that graininess. Okay? So I think we talked about the tooth part of it enough, right? So the next thing I want to talk about with chalk pastel colored pencils is how you can blend them and you can mix them. So let's take a look at actually creating another color. So we've got this blue color here, and now I'm actually going to go back over it with some yellow. so that they mix. So you can easily mix them. You know, this morning, you can just kind of blend it with your finger. So what are you guys using for colored chalk pastels? Are you using pencils or are you using stick? I also have this box here. This is my, like, collection. They're not kept in a neat way, but it's my collection, and I'm going to pull out this whole box because I have a rhyme behind my reason here. Some of these stick pastels are very light in weight. Others are denser, like this one. Have a small set of chalk pastels of the regular colors my mom gave me. Hobby Lobby for $17. That's a good set. A smaller set. You don't need many. Hey, Renata. So here's one that is a little thicker, and it's a little softer on your hands. And what ends up happening is that how it's applied to the paper is a little differently. So we're going to take a look at this green one. So it's a softer pastel. I mean, there are some chalk pastels out there that are just like to drool over. Unbelievable. Very, very expensive. This is a much thicker one. We've got to get Hazel to stop rocking. Here. My dogs are just not cooperating with me today. I don't know what it is. All right. So here's just this kind of lighter stick. Just wanted to go over that. I'm going to use both of them. I'm going to use the sticks, and I'm going to use the regular pencils. All right, someone's looking for us. Let's see. Okay. I'm just trying to catch up with the comments. You guys have blasted me through here with the comments. All right, so let's get started with this. So I'm going to start out first with I'm going to start at the top because I don't want my hand to rest on everything that's there. And I think I'm going to start out with some blues on the top. I'll start out with this periwinkle color. Diane is saying, I have 12 Crayola chalk sticks. Are those doable? Yes. Yes, yes, yes. Or you can use Stabilo. It's up to you. Those are fine. You know, you could actually just use colored chalk, too. You could use, I mean, you can use any type of, anything like that. So what the whole point of today's lesson, if you will, is that we want to learn how to actually apply this chalk and this type of medium to a page. A lot of dust with this. If you have breathing problems, I'm going to warn you right now, there's a lot of dust with chalk pastels. Sometimes if I'm having kind of like a day of, I don't know, a cold, I don't know. Now I'm going to add this, it can get in your throat. I'm going to add this darker blue color here. I'm not swatching my colors today. And then I am lightening up. And I'm not going to blend anything with my hands or any other type of blending tool until I get to the end. I'm hoping that it doesn't snow tomorrow because I'm just really not interested in it. I'm not interested. Can I just not be interested in snow? Periwinkle. There's Bonnie. I was just about to say, we're going to use periwinkle. Is Bonnie here? So I'm just adding this blue color here. And I'm going to color with a lighter pressure for this area here. Now, because this is a grayscale illustration page, you can follow the lights and the darks just like you would in a grayscale photograph. So I'm using a gray color here, and I'm going to use this on top of this area here where it's a little bit lighter. And then when I go back in to blend everything, all the magic will happen. But we're going to save the magic. We're going to save the magic for a little while. And I'm just kind of giving this section here all these different shades of blue, because to me, it's just the sky. And here, lighter pressure. And then I could add some white on top of that if I want to. Or I could just add a little bit. Look how it kind of looks very scribbly and scratchy. And then let's add this kind of like, kind of a greenish blue color up here. Kind of a turquoise color up here in the sky. Notice my sky is blue. It's not yellow. And I'm going to add a little bit of this here to kind of make my eye go here. We talked about that the other day, right? We talked about that when we colored in the style of Mondrian, where we talked about using different colors. Hey, Katie, we use different colors throughout our coloring page to kind of create a rhythm and a movement throughout the page. You know, just a movement throughout the page, dancing across. You're dancing now, I know. I know Chris is dancing. Chris is boogieing with that rhythm. All right, so now we've got this blue color here, and it's a darker blue, kind of up in this corner. We have a lot of people here. Did you see the eyeball in the upper left-hand corner? It says 31, and I never even invited people. So thanks, everyone, for being here. Hey, Annette. Annette has joined us this morning. Annette, my apologies for not... I know I emailed you the link to that group, but this is where we meet every Monday and Wednesday, and then you can look at the replays. You don't need a password for the group. I'm just going to kind of blow off all that dust there. And then I've got this kind of blue. I don't know what this is. Kind of a navy. Stabilo Chalk Pastels do not have names on them. So this morning I was thinking about this page and thinking about the colors that I was going to use. And I don't know why this popped into my head, but I'm thinking I need to put together some sort of webinar or something, a freebie webinar, and create color palettes together. I thought that would be kind of cool. What do you guys think about that? Having just kind of, hey Kristen, hey Michelle, just kind of have like a little freebie webinar where we all meet and we just create color palettes together. I don't know. Is that something you guys are interested in? Because a lot of people are saying, hey, what color goes with what color, and what color should I put with that? But wouldn't it be cool to make your own color palettes? And be able to learn how to make those color palettes. And, you know, one of the best ways to learn how to do it is to kind of look around your home, look around your environment, look at the clothes you're wearing. I mean, unless you're dressed with, I don't know, plaid pants and a flowered shirt, wearing cowboy boots on a summer day, then, I don't know. So here's Periwinkle again. I think that everyone could probably easily put together a color palette better than they actually think they can. The chalk sticks do not go on smooth like Stabilo. Hey, you know what? That would be fun, Abby's saying. Thank you, Abby. You know what, though? The reason why, Diana, is because maybe they are not as soft, because some of the sticks are harder than others. Jennifer Baker's here. Hey, Jennifer Baker. Hey, Beb Larson. Lynn is saying, I don't understand the value of color palettes. You know, I'm not going to say that I don't understand the value of color palettes, but a lot of people like to use them because they want to be able to know what color goes with what. And they have a hard time figuring that out. And I'm going to say, what I would really say about that is that I have actually a blog post that I've posted on my Facebook page today, which I had written like so long ago. I think I wrote it in like December of 2017 or something. Crazy, right? Way back in the day. And it's all about how to choose colors. And I think what we forget is that we already know. We already know how to choose a color. We don't need to have somebody tell us what to do. We don't need to have somebody say that that looks okay with that, because I'm sure that everyone has been dressing themselves for quite some time. And unless you are like having a color explosion, you don't need to be like Ralph Lauren or, I don't know, Vera Wang or something. I mean, it's easy. You get dressed. You've furnished your home, right? You've probably bought something like to put like a comforter and curtains. So I think that that's the part that I kind of want to talk about, is that do we really need to be making all these color palettes? Do we need to, maybe we just need to learn how to look at what the colors are that go together. Does that make sense? More of a, you just got to choose what makes you happy. And I'm going to tell you, you could easily, you could blind pick so many colors, and I would say 90% of the time they're going to look fine together. If you have a basic understanding of the color wheel, you just kind of know. So, but I think it's important to talk about it, but not necessarily make color palettes in the way that some people are using them, but more of an educated, more learning about it. What is happening with the two of you, Scarlett and Paisley? Oh, we've got a situation. Kristen does a good job. Kristen says, I like experimenting with colors. Yeah, I do too, right? You're going to just kind of test the waters. What is going on here in Dogville? You guys need to go lay down, my dog friends. Here's a chalk stick that's a yellow. I'm going to add it to this section here. So the only thing that's different too about these sticks is that it is going to be harder to get into a smaller space, right? But if you kind of use that edge, there we go. So these are all my yellows, because I was going to make it rainbow, but I'm not really sure about that. Let me add another yellow. Here's one that's very well loved. It's been around for a long time. It's been in my life for a while, apparently. I just keep them all in that big box. See if I can find another one. Here's one that's pretty new. But yeah, I don't know if you can tell, but this has a very sharp edge on this rectangle of this pastel, and that is a really good indication to find out whether or not it's going to be going to go on smoother or not. This is lighter in weight than one that would have well, this one's kind of used a little bit, but it does have more of a rounded look, and it's not as this one is wider. The yellow one is wider. There are some pastels out there that I just like drool over to have. Like you walk into an art supply store and you're like, my goodness, please come home with me, right? Abby's saying, I have a negative vibe about digital coloring. What's the negative vibe that you have about it? Kristen says, I find myself being brave with digital coloring. You know, there's a lot of controversy about digital coloring. There's a lot of controversy about digital art in general. Some people think that, I'm going to use orange for my canoe. Some people think that digital art is not really, doesn't take any skill. Some people think that it is just, it's cheating, right? So consider this. The person that is creating digital art needs to know how to use the technology that they're using. Believe it or not, there are some people that do not know how to use that technology. There are some people that know how to use it better than others. It seems like a given. It seems like all you're doing is tap, 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 tap. It's really not tap, 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 tap. My Chalk Pastels are Stabilo. When we do the digital coloring color along next Wednesday on the 20th, we're going to talk about all that. We're going to talk about what is it cheating? Is it not cheating? We're going to take a look at some other artists that have colored in the digital world. When I was in when I was in grad school and I wrote a thesis, my thesis was called Digital Brushstrokes, and it was all about digital coloring versus traditional painting versus digital painting. So I interviewed 6 to 8 artists around the world that used some sort of technology to make art. Some of them painted, some of them used Photoshop, some of them used other forms of technology. And we're going to talk about those artists. We're going to take a look at their artwork. We're going to take a look at a couple of websites. One of them is called the Digital Art Museum website. digital art does take a lot of skill. And some people can just paint on the screen like they're painting with a regular paintbrush. Others cannot. Some people think that all you have to do is just tap each area. Tap, 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 tap. And that is, I think that is coming from those apps, you know, like Recolor and Pigment, because that's really all you have to do. There's a lot of those coloring apps where we're just kind of little robots just going tap, 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 you know, and it's just, but there's filters you can apply. There's also ways you can actually use a stylus at the end. Here's a stylus, for example, the end of this pen. It's kind of squishy. You can use that. So we're going to use that. We're going to take a look at doing that on my iPad, and we're going to have some fun with it. So I think it's something that you just kind of explore it. If you don't like it, then hey, move on, right? I mean, I don't really like coloring with Sharpies. I hate it, actually. I'm not going to lie. I don't like the smell. I don't like the results. Jamie is saying, I think when there are coloring contests, I don't think it's fair to allow people to submit digital coloring photos. It should be hand-colored pictures and have a separate contest for digital, because so many people work hard coloring their pictures. Well, Jamie, the only thing that I would say to that is they're two different... Paisley, you don't like digital coloring either? Come over here. Come here. They're two different mediums. It's just another medium. You know? It's just another medium. Dogs are settled. Some of them are harder than others, yes. Want to color myself, otherwise wouldn't have purchased tons of pencils. Well, yeah, it's just a medium, though. That's all. That's the only thing I can say about it. And we're going to talk about it on that day. And we're going to take a look at some other artists. And it just may not be for other people. You know what I mean? So if people are just using digital coloring by just kind of like tap, 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 and that's all they're doing, then sure. It is cheating, you know? If you're applying filters to stuff and it's, I mean, it just, we're going to talk about it on that day. I think it's going to be fun. It's going to be just, maybe you don't like it. Maybe it's not something that's for you. And, I mean, really, that's okay if it's not. No problem. Coloring this side, the seat part of it, a little different. And then I think I'm going to add some red to that. Different kinds of digital coloring. Some are very hard to do. Yes, there are. I mean, I'm going to show you some artists that you're going to be like, what? That was painted digitally? I mean, I couldn't do it. That's for sure. It's not the computer that's doing it. It's just the person is doing it with... It's just another medium. That's the only thing I could... That's the only other way I can say it. Yeah, and, you know, those contests, you know... There shouldn't be a contest. What do you think? What is who is judging the contest, number one? And if you've ever been to art school and you've sat through a critique in art school, you will never ever want to be judged again, you know, because it was grueling. All right, so let's put this turquoise color here. So I have kind of come down from the top. I've used all different shades of blue here, and I'm going to go back over this top portion, and I'm going to blend it. And I'm going to blend it with, I don't know, probably my fingers, not even a Q-tip. And then here we added a whole bunch of different yellows. And now this is an orange canoe. Oh, we've got to add the inside of the canoe. I feel like it should be like the inside, like a funky color on the inside of the canoe. Does anybody know what the inside of a canoe really, what the color is? Let's make it green. Just so it's funky. This is my funky canoe. My funky canoe sailing down the riverbed, the lake. And then here is this kind of turquoise-ish color-ish. Is that a color? Is that a color, turquoise-ish? And then we hit this section here. And then I'm going to add a different color blue. Really kind of make it a contrast. Here's this navy blue right here. Algae canoe. Thanks, Lynn. Kristen is saying that it's taken her a while to get the used of it, get used to the hang of it, hang of digital coloring. And you know what, Kristen, it's improved. I see a huge difference. You've evolved as a digital colorist. I gotta say, it does hurt my eyes. There is a place for all art, whether hand or digital paint, etc. Bev Larson is saying. I agree with you, Bev. Couldn't have said it better myself. I gotta catch up to that comment. People being addicted to the contests, Alexandra, is that what you're talking about? I was looking at something yesterday, actually. There was a comment about a post. There was a live video, actually, from Patricia Burke. Something about color. I'm out of the loop. Let me tell you. It tells you how much I'm paying attention to other coloring groups. About coloring groups requiring the 100% participation in contests. Is that happening? Karen. Hey, Karen. You have become such a dear friend, even though we have never met. I love listening to you. I gotta tell you guys, the other day I was going over some videos that I'm adding to my website so that there's some video links, and the sound was on. And I left the computer on, and I was in the other room, and I heard someone talking, and I said to myself, who in the world is that? They sound terrible. And then I realized it was me, and I had to run from the other room over to the computer, and I couldn't find the mute button fast enough. I don't like listening to my voice. Does anybody like listening to their voice? Hey, Dawn, how's it going? Hey, Kim. Jamie saying, I'm not against digital coloring. I'm inspired by people's natural coloring. I have to read this fast. I love to see everyone's different ways of coloring. Everyone has their own style. I've seen inspired me, taught me new things. I do believe digital coloring is good for people with hand problems, and I do understand that. Yeah, a lot of people do have hand problems, right? I'll tell you one thing, it really... Dawn, how's it going? I haven't seen you in a while. I was going to message you, but I didn't want to bother you. Chris is a gem. Jennifer says, I hate listening to my own voice. I hate it too. Hey, Tova Blanco. Good morning from Good morning, San Diego. Awesome. I don't know why people like my voice. It's kind of weird to me. All right, so here is this blue right here. I don't know. I think I'm going to blend with my fingers. Why not? You got to kind of dive into it, right? And I'm going to put this blue down here. So just kind of alternating this little ocean that we've got going on. I think it needs a little bit more of this algae color though, doesn't it? And maybe I'll add another color. Let's find that blue algae color. I think it's this one. This is kind of a greenish color, but that's okay. I don't know what happened to blue algae. Oh, here it is. I'll put it up here. So this blue algae is a nice, I'm calling it blue algae, Lynn, because you've named it. This is a nice contrast to this orange, don't you think? I'm so happy that you guys like listening to me. I appreciate it. I was actually thinking that we need to have a co-host soon. I haven't had a co-host in a while. Haven't had any of you co-host with me in a long time. Need to start doing that again. Lynn, anytime. Lynn co-hosts with me sometime. So you've co-hosted. Lynn Miller has co-hosted several times. We always have a good laugh. If anybody else is interested in kind of chatting live with me while we are coloring, just let me know. We just need to keep it PG, right? Bright and Cherry. Thank you, Heather. Karen saying, my granddaughter, 11, has become so creative with digital art. I wish the tablets weren't so expensive. I would love to get her one for herself. Really? What type of art is she doing, Karen? I would love to see it. This looks great. Imagine it's not pencil, no watercolor, no digital. It's art. Exactly, Bev. Right. Your husband hates digital coloring too, Heather? Yeah, interesting, right? Yeah, we are always PG. We are. I know. Okay, so now let's do some blending. And I've got my little sweeper brush. It's very dry. I've never used it for anything else except for my chalk pastels. And I am just going to simply kind of alternate throughout all of these and just kind of blend together. I am going to add a little bit more color to the bottom though. And I'm just kind of going very light. Now, I am going to sweep it off. I feel like I sweep more here than I do in my own house. I feel like I sweep it off a lot. All right, so there is, see how that changed? Look how right there, it kind of, you can really kind of see the illustration, the back there. You can actually kind of see it. I don't know what I'm going to do to my yellow. I think I might just leave it the way it is. And I'm liking this without any other color added to it. And notice I'm going in the shape. I don't know if that's making a difference, but it makes me feel happy, right? Oh, I would love to see her characters, Karen. Those would be so cool. Yeah, I'm open to everything, too. Karen is saying, is not... Jennifer, oh, I would love to have you co-host. Send me a message, Jennifer. We can set something up. It's not your voice, Karen, saying. I think it's more your opinion on things. Oh, thank you. That means a lot. Thank you. Okay, so now I've got my canoe. And I need to make sure I have a clean hand. So let's just kind of like, let's just wipe all the chalk pastels on my clothes. I don't want to pet my white dogs because then they'll be colored with cover. I mean, covered with color. They'll be colored with cover. Now, if this page had more of a tooth, if this paper had more of a tooth to it, then the gradation would have been so different. I'm just going to kind of give it a black line all around the edge because I just kind of want to finish it off. Kind of like a scrappy looking little border. Almost like a little frame. This page can also be found in my book Wonder, which we can take a look at while we're here this morning, while we're together. So, do you need to finish it is the question, the burning question on everyone's mind, the elephant in the room, right? What do we need to do to this? I like to spray it with hairspray. Some people argue that that'll turn it yellow. Sure, it's not hanging in a museum, so I don't really care, you know? If I was going to just pop this in a frame maybe with some glass on the front of it, then I don't really need to spray it with anything. So, yeah, send me the creations, Karen. I would love to see it. So I'm just going to kind of sweep this away. A lot of dust going on here. And that's a finished page. That is a totally finished page. So I thought that I had some pastel paper, but I do not. And I wanted to show you that, but I thought that I had it, and I do not have that pastel paper. But sometimes you can use a tinted paper when you're using chalk pastels. So this page right here is complete. This is my canoe page. And I think the only thing that I might do is maybe accentuate all of my darker areas with a very, very light black pencil. On Jennifer, Lynn is talking about last Wednesday's color along where we colored in the style of the artist Piet Mondrian. And we use the colors that he uses in different paintings, and we took a look at the PDF packet that's in the color along group. Did you check that out? Is everyone that's in the color along volume 11 private Facebook group getting the PDF packets? Because I can see who can see what. I can see what you can see. And there's 2 packets so far. Well, we did Mondrian, we did Pointillism, and this is the next one. I'm so excited about this one because this one is going to be a lot of fun. We're going to talk about fresco style, and we're going to take a look at some artists from the Renaissance, and we're going to learn about texture. We're going to use oil pastels. But go back to you can go back and watch that, Jennifer. You can go back and watch the replay of that color along, and make sure you get that packet, because that packet is there for all of the people that have that have that book, that have the color along book as a perk. All right, so before I add some black here, let me let my little doggies out while I take a look at that. And hang on one second, friends. Come on, dogs. When the dog's gotta go, the dog's gotta go, right? So you don't wanna. It's hard getting up before 7 a.m. Oh, I'm so happy that you're here, Jennifer. Bev is saying I don't have anything grayscale and would like to use them on that, so I'll get more colors in grayscale book. I am on hold with chalks. Well, there's a few grayscale in this, Bev, in this book, and this book is available still as a PDF that you could get on my website. So I'm going to take this black pencil that I've given a good sharpen to, and I'm just going to kind of do an underlighting here. I call it low lighting, where I'm kind of using a little bit of black on the underside of this canoe. Now, we kind of want it to look like it's in the water, not on top of the water, right? So I'm just kind of giving it just a little bit, a thin line. You don't want to outline it, but just kind of a thinness. A little bit, just kind of a little bit of just adding some black to it. And then here, I'm adding a little bit of black here. And then you could do the same thing in this upper corner. This kind of reminds me of a weather map, doesn't it? It's like the storm coming in. But somebody mentioned it looks like the sun is coming up behind it, doesn't it? This page is in Wonder, but it's also a line drawing in Lazy Waves. Kristen, I think you've colored this page, haven't you? It's in Wonder. This page is in grayscale style. Yeah, this is a grayscale coloring page. Exactly. Thank you, Chris. This is a grayscale coloring page, Bev, because it's grayscale illustration. And here it is, right here. This was the page we started with, and this is our finished piece. What if we don't have oil pastels? What should we use instead? You can use crayon. Jamie's asking, what if we don't have oil pastels for the fresco style coloring color along? You can use crayons. You can use oil pastels. You can use Crayola twistables. And we're going to use colored pencils also. So we're going to create a technique. Oh, good. Diana has all 3 packets. Karen's saying she found this YouTube girl to watch drawing with waffles. Wow. Isn't it amazing what kids are available to learn? What's out there? Do you ever use white charcoal for highlights? I'm about to. I'm about to, Karen. I have a lot of grayscale books. How many? 12 maybe? I think I have 12. You know, I don't have white in here because I used white while I was sewing a pair of pants, but I do have white, a white stamp. I've had these little pastels here for quite a while. All right. So here's my white. I will do some white here. Put some white right here and highlight. I'm going to highlight the top of this. And then sometimes you can just blend with the actual, with white. Like white becomes your colorless blender. So look how that lightened it up. And then here, I'll lighten it up a little bit here. So it kind of blends it a little bit. Again here. And then maybe in this upper corner here. And then, I don't know, right there maybe. I don't know, just use your judgment. Do what it makes you happy, like Lynn Miller says. That's so right. You're so right, Lynn. Just color how it makes you happy. Use the colors you want. There's no rules. Just do whatever you want. Life's too short. Now, if I put this light color here, this white color here, what that's doing is it's allowing for this section here of the wave to look like it's sticking out. See how that looks like? Made it look like it's sticking out more. It's like I've lit up behind it. Holly's saying, I was wondering for the monthly membership, are you going to send it through Messenger again? Did I send it through Messenger to you? I thought I sent it to... The only thing I sent through Messenger was the Draw Live pages. But I sent... for the regular coloring pages, they get mailed out. Yours are getting mailed out today. Holly. Thank you, Lynn. Lynn is saying, Anne's grayscale books are better than many others out there. Thank you very much, Lynn. So that just kind of made that, see how that made that pop a little? And I'm going to do the same thing here. So it's like you're lighting it up from behind. in here too. And then the other secret with grayscale too is that you want to make sure that you really let the grayscale pop through. You know what I mean? So you want the lights and the darks to actually shine through. Where is Alexandria? Are you still watching, Alexandria? To do it, look who had this comment. That's what I have decided, to do what makes me happy. Your lives make me happy. Oh, thank you. So it's complete. I don't think I need to add white anywhere else. What do you guys think? I'm leaving the sun where it is. I'm not going to bother with that. I don't want to touch the sun. Maybe a little bit of white here. I love working with pastels. I love drawing with pastels. I just kind of feel like they are just, they're like paint. They're like using paint. You can just really kind of create a whole drawing with them. And if you treat them like they're paint, then you'll get a painterly effect. I hope that makes sense. And I've done some paintings some landscape paintings, some silhouette paintings with paint, and then I've done similar paintings with just pastels. Hey, Adina. Thank you, Jamie. Hey, talk to you soon, Abby. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you on Wednesday. And that's it. You know, less is more. You don't want to overdo it. And then as far as keeping this in this book, I'll just pop a regular piece of paper over it just to kind of keep it so that, I mean, it's going to smudge. What are we going to do? It's life, right? If I wanted to save it, then I could just kind of pop it in a frame. But for this purpose here, I'm just going to pop it in here. I'll put a paper clip here so it stays and get rid of all the dust that's around me right now. I thought I was done, but then I added white, green, and black. Big difference. Isn't it amazing when you go back and you add other things to it? You could easily, I mean, you could just keep working on it because it's like, it's treating it like a painting, you know? Just really kind of continuing to draw like a painting. So on Wednesday, we have this page right here, which is the candles page. This is from Tiny Crowds. And we're going to be treating this in a fresco style. So we're going to be using oil pastels, or you could use crayon, something that's a thick medium, something that's very thick. That's got kind of a bite to it. That's a thickness to it. You don't want to use chalk. You want to use something that's like a crayon or like a muddiness to it. That's the whole point. So we've got Tiny Crowds. So the page that we used, that I colored today, can also be found in this book, which is called Wonder. And this is a variety coloring book, and it has different things like line drawing pages that are similar to other pages that are in other books that I have. And it also has some grayscale illustration pages. So this is really, truly a variety coloring book. Some oil pastels, Lynn is saying oil pastels do not have points. Some of them do. I have a set of oil pastels by Moped that do have a point. And I think Crayola makes an oil pastel that does have a point. I'll be using COPPA. Why am I saying it like that? COPPA colored oil pastels. I love those. Don't let the price make you think that they're not good, because they're great. They're a Sakura product. They're very, very inexpensive. It's like $6 or something for like the 24 pack. But yeah, take a look at those. Those are pretty cool. And Crayola has a brand. Bev says, it used to be able to get onion skin paper for tracing to put over the pages would be good. Yeah, tracing paper, or, I mean, I have like the newspaper I could kind of pop something on. So this book has these grayscale illustration pages from drawings that I had done. This was the drawing that I had done years ago with colored pencils of these ballet slippers. And then it has these other pages that are just line drawing pages. It's got some journal pages in it. What can you do today that you were not capable of 1 year ago? Wow, I could make a list. How do you show yourself love? Again, make a list. Hey, Mary Hannah. Mary Hannah says, got to get pencil pastel, less messy. Love the way the pastels came out, using chalk pastel now. I like the messiness. What is the difference between living and existing? I like the messiness. Something wrong with me? Is that good? I don't know. I like the feel of it on my hands. It doesn't bother me. Here's one with the black background. That would be a cool one to try the color pops on though, right? The Pentel Sparkle Pops, right? And then here's one with some miniatures that's similar to a page in Itsy Bitsy. And another grayscale illustration. This was done as a charcoal drawing first. Here's one. Diana loves this one. This is a crazy page. If you've colored this page, this is addicting. Here's another grayscale illustration. We've done this in a color along before. It was a lot of fun. Here's one. That's my little dog, Willie. And it has 30 pages in this book. So there's 30 pages. Oh, actually 32. There's 32 pages to color in this book. And then there are 2 copies of every page. So that's called Wonder. If you have my 100th book called Mereiki, these pages are in Mereiki. Chris is saying the Stabilos are expensive, Mary, but I followed Anne's advice to go to small set. Yeah, they're very expensive, but you don't need the big set. And the other set of Chalk Pastel colored pencils is General. That's another one that's a good one. That's an inexpensive set that you could get. All right, so we've already completed. Let's check it off, right? Get ourselves organized. We'll use a red pen for this. We've already done Pointillism, Mondrian. Today we did Chalk Pastels. This is the best book so far. I'm having a lot of fun with this color along book. Lean Dawn, hey, how are you? Where do you get your books published at? I publish through KDP, which is an Amazon company. If you want to send me a private message, I can get you some information on it. I can give you the information. Missed the comments. I'm spinning out of control. I'm spinning out of control too. Krylon workable fixative is what Bonnie uses, and you definitely could do that. But if you just have that 12-pack of pastel colored pencils, then they will easily, because you can mix them. You don't really need the whole 60-pack. I have the 60-pack because they were sent to me by a friend. It was a surprise. And I almost fell over when I opened the box. But I don't know if I would have been able to go out and buy those for myself. So Lean Dawn, send me a message and I will give you the information on how to publish. So we are going to color in the fresco style on Wednesday, and then next week we'll be using gel crayons and digital coloring on Wednesday. So we're moving along with this book. Any questions about what we're doing so far with Color Along Volume 11? I think it's been a blast. I think it's been a lot of fun. I have my Dangles page next to me. I've been coloring these dangle pages from my new book, Dangles, that many of you have been showing pages, finished pages. This is what I'm working on now with these Pentel Sparkle Pops. They are awesome. So I've been coloring with that and kind of doing a little bit of, having a lot of fun with these. Any questions about what we're doing with Color Along 11, what we've done so far, what we're about to do next week? Products, all that type of thing. Don't forget, if you are in the Color Along Volume 11 group, then be sure to go out and go get that PDF packet. Lynn Miller is saying, my camp shirt has visited New Jersey, Pennsylvania, and Ohio. Hey, where has it come from? Wouldn't it be funny if it actually was shipped out of New Jersey? And it's done the rounds, you know? One time I shipped something to, was it Kristen? I don't know if Kristen's still watching. I had something that was shipped to Kristen, and it was shipped from Arizona. Kristen lives in New Mexico. It was shipped from Arizona, went to Texas, headed over to California, and then went to New Mexico. It was like, I think she could have driven to go and get it. I mean, they could have driven it to her. That's how, it's crazy. Jennifer is asking, are the past videos available for me to watch? Yes. You can go to my Facebook page, and you can find them there over to the left where it says videos. You could go to the Color Along Volume 11 group. They are there. Or you can go to, there's a page on my website, and it's password protected for people that have the book, and you can look at it there. I think I gave you that password, didn't I? If you need that, Jennifer, let me know. Lynn, you're almost finished with Dangles? Oh my God. Really? I can't wait to see it. Cheryl's asking, are we using oil pastels tomorrow? Well, on Wednesday. Yes. Jeannie's saying, have a great day, everyone. Have a great day, Jeannie. Thanks for joining us. Sarah's going to sleep. Okay, Sarah. Good night. Hey, Annette, I'm glad that you enjoyed it. Have a wonderful day, everyone. Hey, you're welcome, Bonnie Hughes. All right, my friends, have a great day, and we'll be back on Wednesday morning at 10 a.m. Eastern Time. Hope you can join me again, and we will see everyone soon. If you have any questions about what is happening with the Color Along 11 group, for those of you that maybe need to access that and are not able to for some reason, then just send me a message. Thanks, everyone. Have a great day.